What's up guys, it's Kelly and today I have a really fun nail art Sunday for you. Today we are doing 4 different back to school nail art designs. I did them all in the same manicure. You can do them as a detail nail or you can do it as one manicure with just all of the nails being the same, but I thought it might be fun to just show you guys all at once. So that's what we're doing today. So let's just get started. So we're going to start off with the index finger, which is a bunch of little apples. So I'm going to use my base coat, some white nail polish, as well as a nice juicy red nail polish, a green nail polish, and a light brown. This is optional, it's just going to be for the stems, as well as my regular top coat to smooth out the design, and some matte top coat just to have a nice matte finish on all of my nails. I'm also going to be using a little dotting tool and a nail art brush. Everything that I'm using will be linked in the description. Anyway, I'm going to start off with my clean natural nail and apply my base coat, and once that's dry I'm going to go in with 1 to 2 coats of my white polish. I also love using nude as a background color for apple nail art. If you guys are interested, that's another option. So I'm just going to take some of that red polish and my dotting tool, and I'm going to start creating the apples on my nails. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make a dot, but then I'm going to slightly drag it so it's not a perfect circle. It's kind of that apple shape, which looks like 2 overlapping circles together that have a little groove in the middle, and that's where my stem and my leaf are going to be. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, just watch the video because you might be a visual learner. I don't know. Anyway, there's no rhyme or reason to where I'm putting them. I'm just putting them randomly all over my nail. And then I'm going to take the green polish and my little nail art brush, and I'm going to go right into the center of each of those apples, and I'm going to draw a little leaf because, I don't know, that's pretty cute. Another thing you could do is do different color apples on each of your nails. If you're doing this as a whole manicure, it would be fun to do yellows or some greens or just a nice little mixture. I'm also going to draw like a little leaf and stem off to the corner without an apple on it because I want it to look like they're just a continuing pattern. So now I'm going to take my brown and that same little brush, and I'm just going to create a little stem. Like I said, this is optional. It's just a little extra detail that I like, and I just think it looks really cute and it makes them look more appley. So once your design is dry, you can go in with your glossy top coat first. Now I did not wait long enough. I would recommend waiting at least a half hour, especially for red nail art designs, because those colors do bleed a little bit. But once that is dry, I use that to actually just smooth out my manicure, and then once that's dry I go in with my matte top coat so it's not lumpy and bumpy once I have my matte final design. Next up is my chalkboard nail. So I'm going to use my base coat again, a dusty green polish, a white polish, and my regular top coat, and of course my matte top coat, as well as the same little nail art brush that I used before. So once again, I'm just going to start off with my clean natural nail and apply my base coat, and then once that's dry, I'm going to go in with my base color, which is this chalkboard green kind of color. If you'd prefer, you can totally use a black or a dark gray, but I remember when I was in school, my chalkboards were green, so that's what I'm going to go with. So I'm just going to take some of that white polish onto a scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to dip my nail art brush into it, and then I'm going to just start drawing some equations on my chalkboard. There's really no trick to this. What I do for nail art is I will keep the side of my hand where my pinky is pressed down against the table so that I have as steady of a hand as possible while I'm drawing freehand designs. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, you can always draw it on a plastic bag, let it dry, and then peel it off and place it onto your nail like a little decal. If you guys want a video on that, let me know because I can totally do that. But yeah, so freehand drawing, totally not perfect, but that's okay because hey, maybe a 2nd grader drew it on the board and they don't have perfect handwriting, so that's the story that I'm going to write for this. So obviously, since this is a chalkboard, we want it to be matte, but I want to smooth out my design first, so I'm going in with my glossy top coat, and then once that dries, I'm going to go in with my matte top coat, and that's going to leave me with that nice matte chalkboard looking effect. So next we're going to do some notebook paper. So again, using my base coat, my white polish, a really light blue polish, as well as the same red as I used before, my regular top coat, and then my matte top coat as usual, as well as the same nail art brush again. Once again, starting off with my clean natural nail, applying my base coat, and then once that's fully dry, I'm going to go in with a couple of coats of my white nail polish as my base for my cool notebook paper. And I know I made a little bit of a mess, but I'm just going to clean that up off camera. So I'm going to start with the light blue lines that go horizontally across my nail. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the very edge of my nail, and I'm just going to draw that in. What I like to do for drawing freehand horizontal lines is I will take my brush, I'll go in from one side, and then I will switch to the other side and go in from the other side, and then connect those 2 lines. I know it's impossible to see because for some reason I thought it would be a really good idea to put my hand over the camera while I was painting it, but hopefully you guys can get the gist of that. If you don't want to do freehand, you can always just use striping tape for this part. And then I'm going to take that red nail polish, and that's going to be that margin line, and I'm just gonna basically try to very carefully draw a straight line going down my nail. And it's not too hard. I honestly think that using striping tape for this type of manicure would just be a lot of effort for very little reward, so that's why I just did it freehand, but you guys are welcome to do whatever you want. So again, waiting for that to dry, I'm going to add my regular top coat, and then I'm going to go in with my matte top coat. It also might be fun to add a little bit of doodles on this nail, but that's up to you. Okay, and last but not least, we're doing our little ruler nail on the pinky. So once again, I'm using my base coat, my ruler color, which is going to be yellow, as well as a really dark gray or black, and a top coat, and my matte top coat, and my nail art brush. As per usual, starting off with my clean natural nail, applying my base coat, letting it dry fully, and then I'm going to go in with my base color. So I'm using yellow just because I thought it would be a nice little color to add to this manicure. You can use whichever color you want, whatever color you want your ruler to be. I don't know, I felt like I was missing some yellow in this manicure, so that's why I chose that. So I'm going to take some of that. I wanted to do a really dark gray instead of black because I thought black might be a little bit too harsh. And then I'm going to start drawing little ruler lines on the side of my nail. So I'm going to do one long one, then a couple of short ones, and then another long one, and then a couple of short ones. This is obviously not an exact measurement. I just went with what felt right. Again, kind of covering the camera a little bit there. I'm sorry. But yeah, I have really short nails, so I didn't want to do too much. So then I'm just going to go in and I'm going to draw little mini numbers next to my bigger ruler markings because I want it to look like a little ruler. And the smaller numbers are actually a lot easier because they don't require as much, working hard and getting that straight line. So then I'm just going to go ahead and cover that up with my top coat and then finish that off with my matte top coat. And then that's it for this whole design. And I love the way this turned out. I think this is a really fun back to school nail art look. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite out of these 4 nail art designs. If you guys want some inspo for the thumbnail and you want to do like a cool Skittle manicure where each nail is different, you can go ahead and check the video I did a few years ago on some other easy nail art designs for back to school. Or spoiler alert, you could just do a little pencil because that would be cute. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Alright, that's it for this manicure. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!